Welcome to Survivor NSFW. Man, Jonny, February 20th is right around the corner. And right now, we are going to be talking Edge of Extinction. David versus Goliath, it's done. It's over. We did a ton of interviews. The tribes have been announced. The cast is out there. And today we are going to break down the Manu tribe. How you doing, buddy?
This is Edge of Extinction. David versus Goliath, no more. Don't even say those words. Nick Wilson, you're dead to me. I'm kidding. We love you, Nick. So, you hear about all the different cast assessments over the years, and I was like, wow, if only we could do a bitter cast assessment. You know, if only there were one guy that would perfectly fit the bill. And I'm looking through resumes, and I'm looking at pictures, and I'm looking at 8x10 glossies, and I see this beacon of hope, this man among men. You may know him from Survivor Gabon. You may know him from Survivor Heroes versus Villains. I like to refer to him as the winner of Survivor Fire Festival, Mr. Randall Bailey. Randy Bailey, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I don't even know what that is. What Fire Festival? The winner?
Fire Festival. Yeah, it's a Netflix thing. Check it out. You'll love it. It is a scumbag, the greatest scumbag that I consider in the highest regard. Who did a music festival that not one artist performed, and this guy made millions on top of millions of dollars.
Well, I'll watch it when this is finished.
There we go. We'll do another podcast. It'll be great. I love it when you set up the jokes and your target is like, yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I still don't know what you're talking about. I'm so out of touch.
You're not Randy. You're the voice of the voiceless. You are the pulse of what's cool and hip. We consider it an honor to have you here on Survivor NSFW, especially on a cast assessment preview. This is great. We're going to have you for 2 weeks. I don't know if you're aware of this. We're going to need you to quit your job.
Okay. Done.
Sounds great so far, right?
What do you mean you're going to need me for 2 weeks?
Well, today we're doing the Manu tribe, and next week we're doing whatever the other tribe is called.
The Kama.
Well, there you go. So you're one step ahead of the game. You already know the names of the tribes.
Yeah,
so
well,
once
I'm
again,
reading it.
Well, we're going to need you to quit your job. We're going to need you to camp out in the backyard for a little bit and really focus on this stuff. This is important.
It's about 20 degrees out right now. So
I may have been fibbing. You might not need to quit your job and go outside, Randy. You might just be able to look at your computer and reconvene next week to do the other half of this.
Yeah, I can commit.
So Edge of Extinction, you guys. So we got.
What do we think about the concept? I mean, like, I keep hearing Jeff Probst in all these videos I'm watching and prep for this, go, hey, this is a totally new idea. We've never done anything like this. You get voted out, and then, you can go this way or that way. You can be done, but if you choose to stay, all we're offering is a chance that you could be back in the game. And I'm just like, I've never heard of anything like this called the Outcast Tribe.
What I like about it, in all seriousness, is the players don't have a clue. They think
I love it.
They think that they're gone,
yes.
And we are gonna see some amazing TV when they get to that crossroads. And
we're going to see amazing TV when they get to the crossroads, and we're going to see amazing TV when these people are reintroduced in the game. I mean, like,
right? No one's going to know. It's double blind.
Yeah.
And if anyone chooses, I'll go ahead and leave. They're dead to me.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you guys. Who on the planet would? I mean, I guess the people that quit early on in the games, but
Austin.
Yeah, why would you even take the option of I'd rather go on the pre-jury trip, or I'd rather go on this trip than to have a chance to be back in the game. It'd be
like you say, quitters.
Well, I'm looking at this roster. I can imagine just for this tribe, I can imagine two of these people not understanding what the proposal is.
Because they're so stupid, or what?
Because they're stupid, yes. So
Okay.
can we factor that? Can we not hate them based on the fact that they're idiots?
So you think Wendy and Keith aren't going to know what the twist is?
Whoa, hey, Keith, don't be talking about what Keith. He's gonna be in Durham, North Carolina, at the Dirty Bull Brewing Company to see Survivor NSFW live and Johnny Fairplay's 45th birthday party. Get your tickets now at SurvivorTix.com. That's SurvivorTix.com.
Well, I'm guessing there'll probably be 5 alumni Survivor listen to this podcast, if that. And I can safely say that, whether people know it or not, about 80% of everybody cast on Survivor is stupid.
Well, I mean, base.
Maybe 90%.
Don't, Randy. Now, I asked you before we started recording if you would not hold back. So, could you please try to live up to your end of the bargain here? I feel that you're a little reserved. That you're not...
80 is probably too high, but 60. I would say.
I think it's a strong 70% are stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, just based on.
Well, I'm thinking of my first cast, and there were, maybe 5 were.
We're smart, legitimate players, and the other whatever was.
So you're looking at 75% idiot ratio.
That's about right. About right.
I re-look. I mean, we just finished the Castaway Watch Along, available for any of our patrons, and just reviewing every episode of Pro Islands, and that of course available at Patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. No more plugs for a while, I promise. And I would say 60% dum-dums. So, Matt, Caramoan.
Well, I mean, that's so in a fans versus favorites season. So, they bring back the favorites. I mean, at least on the fans tribe, there were some dum-dums for sure. People that completely clueless about the game. People that weren't even fans.
You try to say that the greatest fans in the history of the show, who were obviously cast as such on the fans tribe, didn't know the show?
Well, the good news about what I've read on some of these bios for Edge of Extinction is that there is, and I've only looked at the Manu tribe. I haven't, because since I knew that's what we were doing tonight, I didn't even look at the other tribes. So there are some Survivor super fans that we're going to get into. So what we're going to do.
Well, let me add to that, because I have been through, because I did want to comment on that. I've been through both tribes, all 14 newbies, and without there is no exception. Every single one of them are super fans. Every single one of them. Every single one of them, I think, have seen every episode more than once. It's incredible.
Wow.
So and that has, they did that for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I'm sure the 4 returning players have a lot to do with it, because several of them in their bios and stuff mentioned the 4 returning players as a favorite or someone they want to play the game like, and that's not a coincidence.
So
I would, real quick, Matt, like if I'm bringing back these 4 players, I think it's pretty crappy television to cast people that don't like if you have these other players that are just like, I never saw their season, I don't like, that's shit TV.
Yeah,
so,
there's a couple of newbies that just idolize Joe and Kelly and Aubrey and David.
And so you're saying, like, the newbies have no idea that the 4 returning. This is going to be like a fans versus who's coming to, who are we playing with or against. So they have no clue prior to the game that it's a season like this.
They've seen the other players in casting. They've seen them on the plane rides. If they're smart, they're going to count that there's only 14 of them. Right. And if the CBS casting people are smart, they'll stick 4 or 5 strangers to ride on the plane and pose as possible contestants. So just in case, what am I talking about? These people are so stupid, they're not going to be counting.
What am I talking about? I've already decided that 80% of them are stupid.
Yeah. But
they're not counting heads. Well, they do a cast photo before the game starts, Randy.
But ours was done, I think, on day one.
Mine was done in Miami before we even left for Pro Islands.
Yeah, we did cast photos prior, but I think in a season this, yeah, you'd have to know like.
Well, that was for Pro Islands. For actually, I don't. And
on returning
for fans versus favorites, we probably did it because they have to get the reaction of you seeing those players for the first time. So maybe after.
As Jonny will tell you, you're kept if you're a returning player with a cast that has newbies in it. Also, they are kept separate until Probe says, "Come on in, guys." Mm-hmm. But in an all returning player season, it doesn't matter. In Heroes versus Villains, we all rode on the same plane, and we all were,
right
together. So you saw Russell and said, why is the equipment guy riding with us?
No, I saw him and I felt sorry for him. I'm like, who is this little short fat kid? Little did I know. But,
right on.
We were told who he was. One of the casting people came up to us and said, "There's one person from season 19 here. All we can tell you is we were so impressed with his game that he was
asked to play."
Asked to play, and that's all they told us.
Yeah. So. All right. Well,
so here's what we're gonna do. There's 5 men and there is 4 women on the Manu tribe. What we're gonna do is we're going to go one by one through each cast member, starting with their first name in alphabetical order. So the first person that we are going to talk about is Chris Underwood, 25 years old, hometown Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, currently living in Greenville, South Carolina, and he is a sales manager. And before you guys go into it, this guy, he is to me like a bro dude, like a he's got some douchiness to him. He seems like your Chris or I don't know. He just like that typical kind of meathead sort of guy is my first impression of him.
I got an Alec vibe. Like I got the vibe that I thought Alec was gonna be like, and then I grew to like Alec watching David versus Goliath.
I loved Alec. I didn't get that. I didn't get that vibe at all. You
didn't get it at the beginning before seeing him play, just based on I'm a bartender. Like I don't care about the rules. I'm gonna post a fucking picture on Instagram. Blah. Like that. That didn't rub you the wrong way.
I got I got a. He's a hybrid between, as you said, Chris, Noble, and Fabio. Little bit.
Yep, that. Rand, you couldn't have said it any better. I mean, watching the video, it really kind of told it.
Let's real quick. Let's thank our resources here. One resource we'd like to thank Randy Bailey for sending us cheat sheets with bios from each of the cast. Also, like to thank Entertainment Tonight Canada. I know at least Matt and I watched their videos for each of these people. And Randy, Tyler Weigert does an audio series on Rob has a podcast called First One Out, and I know that you listened to some of those in preparation for this.
Tyler Weigert. Who's that?
I got his name wrong on Rob C's podcast once, and that's what I thought it was. I thought it was really good, but I couldn't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, I listened to Round Howard's first one out interviews with all 18 players, plus read CBS's bio. I didn't watch any videos though.
Okay.
See, last night I was trying to. It was like it took me a while to even find the stupid videos. Like, why doesn't CBS.com have the videos of all the cast people? So, but when we're if they do what they did last year or last season, it's the first time they've done that. I believe Jeff Probst personally released a video every day going into the premiere on his personal Instagram. Well, yeah. I mean, that's.
But that sucked for people doing shit like this.
Right.
I have Probst blocked on all social media, so I didn't see that.
So this guy, it's his childhood dream to play. As Randy was saying a minute ago, every one of these people seems to be super fans.
All of them, it's their childhood dream.
It's all, yeah. There was a recurring theme.
Yeah. So this guy, he's a door-to-door sales guy. So he thinks he's going to be his.
What does he sell?
Game.
Do you know?
Yeah, he sells solar panels.
Okay.
So he goes door to door and sells solar panels for your house. And he is the assistant to the district sales manager for the solar company.
Man, that's a shitty job.
No, that's an office joke. He is the actual district sales manager for his solar company.
Right. Well, I'm just saying going door to door to sell solar panels would be
I mean, like that. But like he says that prior to that he was a dive instructor and that didn't pay the bills adequately. So that's why he bumped up his game and he's doing door to door sales and very successful. So, but he said he was gonna go out there and lie and say that he's a dive instructor to make him less of a target. And I'm just like, I think dive instructor is twice the target than a solar panel sales guy.
Yeah, and in Chris's defense, those interviews you do the week before the game starts, you're a fish out of water, and
he is. That was my big takeaway from watching.
You're trying to be funny. You're trying to be entertaining, and
a lot of epic fails.
Yeah, and I remember a couple of mine, and they were just so, I was trying to be funny, and it's
embarrassing as a first time player, and you have to do those. Yeah, they're like, who would you most like? I wasn't even thinking of who would you most want to play like, and everyone always typically gives these like dumb answers. So yes, you can't really judge someone's total package of who they are by these bios because a lot of it is cheesy as shit. A lot of these.
Jacob Derwin on Ghost Island sucked just as bad on his promos as he did on the actual show. So that one was kind of
and Jacob is a good. There's
no word you can follow Jacob and good with.
there are 4 or 5 soon to be Jacobs in this cast.
Oh, we'll get there.
They all can't be first, but they should be.
Yeah. No, my big takeaway from watching the videos and prep for this is Kelly Wentworth and David Wright's mastery of the confessional.
It's watching. The whole tribes. They're killing it as far as that goes.
They're asking them questions, and instead of just having just a back and forth conversation, they're using the question in their answer and just flowing, and it's just effortless. It's so. I mean, it's watching professionals at work. And then fast forward to Wendy Diaz, and you want to throw a rock through your computer. So
go ahead.
So you guys predicting this, because I haven't seen any videos, but so you're predicting that the 4 returnees will be 50% of the confessionals for sure in the opening episode.
The opening few episodes, I think someone could jump out. Like I think they're going to go all in with Wardog, who will be our next person. But no, I think on paper, just from the Manu tribe, David and Kelly are going to be entertaining a lot of more than
50%.
Yeah, they're strong. They're really strong confessionals.
It took me it took me until about the 3rd episode before I really got felt comfortable in the confessional.
Yeah, right here, day 1 superstar.
So, he is kind of like the first.
I also guaranteed that Sandra wouldn't win day 1, so you're welcome.
That's true. And you had $1 million to back it up.
Well, I guaranteed some airtime by saying it, didn't I?
I own the DVD. I used to watch it before I was cast.
Aw, that's so sweet, Randy. It's like we're dating.
I think Chris is going to be one of those guys.
One of my favorite seasons, I have to admit.
Oh, thank you.
Pearl Islands? Pearl Islands is one of your favorite seasons? Is that what you're talking about?
It is.
Right. Yeah, it's a great season.
Of how deep is Chris going to go? I'm gonna say he's going to be about fourth or fifth out.
I would say fifth or sixth. I think he's going to be a guy that does fairly decent in challenges. He has no chance of winning the game. He compares himself to Ozzy, which I'd never want to see Ozzy play the game of Survivor ever again.
I'll go one further than that. I don't want to ever see Ozzy again. Period. Just end it.
Randy, we're going to let you go if you're going to keep holding back like this. We want you to tell us how you really feel. I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum on this. He's applied for years. He is he likes to spearfish. I think he will be a food provider. I see him and Wardog clashing, and I feel like one of them leaves early, and if that person is Wardog, that means Chris hangs around to the merge, and then is a boot from there. So just based on my personal feeling of Wardog rubbing people the wrong way, I have Chris going further than a fourth to sixth boot.
I have almost everybody in this tribe rubbing people the wrong way. Seriously, except for David and Kelly.
Yeah, sure. But I think they're going to be calling the shots. I think Chris will take orders easier than Wardog will.
I do too. And speaking of Wardog, go ahead, Randy.
The sad thing about this is I know how these guys feel to be a super fan and your dream come true. Back in Jonny's day of Pearl Islands, half the players are recruits, including Jonny.
Right.
And when I've started applying for Africa season 3, and my phone didn't start ringing until about season 14, and then was finally cast on 17, and it was just like, when I could not have handled being first one out. I mean, it was just
right.
Let me I don't wish that on anybody. I do wish that on one person, but I'll leave that for later.
Yeah,
it's not going to be on this podcast.
Yeah.
It'll be on next week's podcast.
Oh, I can't wait. Real quick, one last thing on Chris Underwood. His luxury item would be a surfboard. I like that he still thinks that there might be a luxury item, even though we haven't seen one in, I don't know, 11 years. Yeah. But I would.
I've got a funny story about that. It has to do with nothing except luxury items and surfboards. And I've never seen this, and I'm not going to talk about Gabon because Gabon's ancient history, but they had us bring luxury items in Gabon, and they never made the game. But Maddie Whitmore, you remember Maddie?
Yeah. There's a great meme of him, or GIF of him.
That son of a bitch was carrying this huge, giant longboard through every airport that we went through. That was his luxury item. It was actually a surfboard, and it didn't even come into play.
Yeah. I would like a return of luxury items, and I think, truth be told, I think a surfboard would be a good one because there are, awesome waves over in Fiji, and I think it'd be a cool, camp. You get a couple shots of if he's good. I mean, he might just suck. He might be a poser.
See, I spent all my time in Ponderosa. I spent in Fiji for Heroes Villains, and the waves were nothing when I was there.
Well, he was bragging in his video about the awesome waves, brah.
They were awesome in Samoa, but
not in Fiji.
Not in Fiji.
Okay. All right. Well, then Chris is a liar. And I changed my second out. There we go.
Well, enough of Chris. We're going to talk about Dan the Wardog Da Silva. He's a veteran. He's 38. He's from New York. And, he's lived a million places.
Name 4 more things I can hate about him. Keep going.
Dude, so he currently in Los Angeles, and he kind of says how he's never lived anywhere for more than a couple years. He's had, he's this guy skips from job to job. He's moved a ton of places, so he seems kind of discombobulated. He first, when he started talking, he did remind me of a Tony Vlachos, even though he claims I'm nothing like Tony Vlachos. What are your guys' initial thoughts on this guy? He actually doesn't really bother me. Compared to some of the military guys, I think this dude might be annoying, but also entertaining television to a degree, especially if he starts rubbing the other cast members the wrong way.
Randy, please go for. I'm about to boil over, and I need to take deep breaths before I start.
And I'm probably gonna disappoint you guys as well as the 5 or 6 people that listen to this podcast.
Where are you getting your numbers, right? We are the highest rated unauthorized Survivor podcast on the planet.
Okay, whatever. But what?
We're the only one, Randy. All the other ones are fine.
I hate to admit it, but I liked, and maybe it was because they're super fans, but I liked most of these guys. I thought their interviews with Wiggler were impressive, including this guy. I mean, he's a war hero. He's in law school.
Yeah, he's secretly he's not telling people that he's currently in law school. That's his secret going out there.
Yeah. Anyway, but he's I don't hate him as much as you guys do.
I never said here's the thing. The one thing that I hated about when I watched the video interview is he hasn't practiced making fire at all prior to going on Survivor. Knowing that at the end of the game there's a potential fire making challenge that's going to happen.
And we learned from everyone else that they all, because I think Jeff was so pissed off at all right, so what a lot of people may not know is that they start filming this the week after the Ghost Island finale. So that finale is fresh in everyone's mind, and I think Probst is pissed about Angela and it was Angela's inability to make fire.
Angela Perkins.
Yeah.
I mean. Yes, I mean
everyone was told prior to Ghost Island, this we're going to final. This will be how this works, and the fact that there were people that didn't know, I think upset Probst. So I think whoever your personal casting person that you deal with is just listen, don't be a dumb motherfucker. If there's one thing you fucking do before you go out there, learn how to make fire. I assure you. This will be important. Because almost every video, we have people going, I can make fire in 20 seconds. I can make fire in 5 minutes. But almost every single person said they can make fire. Except Wardog, he's too cool for that.
If Probst gets offended if you don't take his game seriously.
Yes.
If you don't know how to make fire and he finds out about it, he would treat that like if someone came to tribal council drunk. You're
acting like oh yep, you are 100% correct, Randy.
and yeah, I told you I've seen your video about 20 times.
Yeah, I was
till I got to know you and
then you stopped watching.
I haven't watched it in years.
This is all a lie.
I do think this guy could be entertaining because he starts talking in his bio. He's like, I'm my own blend. I'm not like a Philip Shepard. I'm not like a Tony, blah, blah, blah. But I actually think the things that he says he's not, I think he probably is. I think he is going to be more like a Tony Vlachos 2.0. Maybe not with the spy shacks and shit.
He says he's not like Philip Shepard and calls himself the Wardog.
Yeah, and that's the thing. How does one...
come up with a fake name for themselves.
Well,
hate that. Nothing works.
Even if he's called the Wardog, dude. Tons of people. No one else has in this cast. I didn't call myself Matt the Beard Bischoff, even that's what every BMX person people called. It was just my name. I never brought it up. Did he bring this up to casting? Hey, I need you to call me Wardog. And he's got the tattoo of Wardog.
He has the tattoo on his arm. It says As Wardog.
You're right. It is annoying when people nickname themselves.
Right? Nothing worse.
Whatever. If someone gives himself their own moniker, there's nothing more annoying than that.
Yeah, and fake
and
last name.
only real Pearl Islands fans will catch on to that reference.
Yeah,
I mean,
Fairplay is my moniker. I don't play fair.
Well, Randy, I can tap out right now, and you can do my part too if you like. There's thousands of people right now listening, going, "Oh my God, is Fairplay really going to leave this podcast? It'll be the best one ever."
The one thing about his bio that I don't know if impressed me is the right word. His 3 luxury items. One was nail clippers. He doesn't like it, and if I've never heard this talked about, but it is horrible how long and dirty your nails get in. Jonny lasted more than me, but he was in Pearl Islands. He was in the water every day. I was in nasty Africa.
I went that resort challenge, and that they trim my nails.
Oh, really? The first thing I did on day 31, which was my first day in Ponderosa, was get nail clippers and just take all my nails off because half of them were broken and
yeah. Well, I as a kid, if I would bite my nails, my mom would slap my hand. Like back in the 80s, you could slap kids. Like it was encouraged, I think. And so I don't bite my nails, and I stopped biting rather quickly. You learn to not bite your nails if someone slaps your hand. And
this guy may have done some extended time survival training schools, and he may have experienced the unwanted nail growth.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, I can tell you personally, like, when I get out there, it's just like, oh my God, my finger, and someone's just like, bite your, I'm like, I don't bite my nails. I have, like, I don't even know, I haven't bitten my nails in 20 years. I'm not going to start out here. So I get that, but I don't, like, here's I'm looking through my notes. I didn't love Captain America on the Avengers movies. He's probably my least favorite of the Avengers. And I'm guessing he's probably worse on the small screen. Calling himself the Wardog, go fuck yourself. Anyone who barks orders is never going to be someone that I personally align with. He's not winning it for the million. He just wants to win for the title of Soul. Once again, go.
And no chance of winning.
None.
I want to see what happens to his bald head, to see if he's really bald or whether he has hair.
Yeah, and he can barely swim. That's
crazy.
To swim like 3 weeks before he went out there.
So let me see. You've applied.
Wow.
You've applied 4 times, and you're a big fan. But you're going on Survivor in a place called Fiji, where you're in the water doing challenges. Yet you don't know how to swim that well, and you haven't
or
even
make
practiced fire
because you didn't care that they told you that was important. But you know what? He shouldn't have wasted his time making fire because he's not going to fucking be there that long.
What's your gut?
So that was smart.
Do you think he's going to make jury or no?
No. I honestly think he's going to, I think that David and Kelly are going to be calling the shots.
And
I think they'll take a hapless Chris under their wing and get rid of the fucking Wardog.
And Jonny, do you have an intern or a super fan that can kind of keep track of the stats we're dishing out here? Because I think
his name's Matt Bischoff. Johnny's gonna be like, "Oh, Matt, can you do this for me?"
Oh, okay, yeah. But because I'd like to see how it turns out. Because I say no jury for this guy either. He's nobody we've talked to so far is making jury.
Yeah, and which card? Chris is on the bubble because I think he's an early out after the merge, so he's either right before the jury or one of the first members of the jury.
And I think another thing you said is correct, that the returnees are going to be running the show. Because one thing that I didn't say this before, but not only are they super fans, but all of these guys, all 14 of them, they worship any survivor. They worship, Wanda Shirk, because she lasted one day. And
see, I was hoping, as that I haven't looked at the other tribe yet. I was hoping that there was some really strong alpha personalities there, and more of the cunning strategist type. And I was hoping that they would target.
Well, if they're smart, if they're smart, the first 4 boots are David, Kelly, Joe, and Aubrey.
I would take that order with Joe and then the other 3.
But we'll get into that next week.
So I mean, there's one part of me that thinks, there's no way this dude's gonna make the jury. But there's also a part of me, if he does come across annoying like Philip Shepard, and since he's like he is a strong dude, they could use him to win challenges up to a point and be like, hey, let's just take this guy for a little while, because there's no way this dude will ever fucking win, because he's gonna annoy everybody. Potentially.
Can I also mention that I might be a little jaded? I guess I should mention this. So I did reach out to the Wardog today. He can be found on Twitter at I am the Wardog.
I plan on following all of them.
Yes. Well, I wrote.
And I will follow them all, and by the end of the season,
you will block them all.
3/4 of them will be blocked.
Yes, I understand that. So I follow the Wardog at I am the Wardog, and he follows me back rather promptly.
I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to follow him.
And so I write, "What are you thinking for a T-shirt?" and then I send a link to JonnyFairplay.com, because if you're looking for a Survivor inspired T-shirt, or a Jonny Fairplay T-shirt, or a Matt Bischoff T-shirt, or a Survivor NSFW T-shirt, there's only one place to go, and that's JonnyFairplay.com. With every purchase, you get a phone call from me, Jonny Fairplay, thanking you for your purchase. This is not a rib. It's not a joke. It's real life. I actually call you when you order a T-shirt. I get an email, and it says, hey, you have a new sale. And then I call and say, hey, thanks for your T-shirt order. Do you have any questions? And people have questions. It's fun. So he replies, what's up, brother? Ugh. Loved you on Pearl Islands, but I'm not a sell T-shirt to myself guy. You got to hit up Anglum for that.
He turned you down?
He says, I was like, I'm not a Joe type of guy. I prefer guys that have that don't have their girlfriends pay for their cell phone bills. So,
but cut him some slack, because he's, the cast release was what, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, and they are. I already
have a Rick the Anchorman shirt.
Yeah,
really.
One day after the cast was released, bam, shirt.
I remember.
I reached out on Gavin on the other tribe. Hey, we doing a Gavin shirt? I'd be offended if we didn't.
Well, here's the thing.
I remember 10 years ago.
I didn't make a Randy shirt. I did take you to get a shirt.
That's true. Now, 10 years ago, you messaged me on Facebook or something and said, call me. This is my number. And don't get a big head. But I was just like, oh my God, I'm talking to Jonny Fairplay, because these guys were fans one day, and the next day they're famous.
Right.
So it's.
I thought you were gonna skip to forgotten.
Well, that comes in another couple of months.
Yeah, I know. I'm happy to see in 2019 we get a kinder, gentler Randy that gives you 30 seconds of feel good about yourself before it's over.
But I'm going to defend Wardog also, because if the first thing you actually said to the guy was, hey, want a T-shirt? I would be like, come on, dude. Like, at least say, what's up? Welcome to the cast. And then go into it. So if I made my own fucking shirts that I sold at my parties, and then I just reinvested the money just for everyone. I wasn't making money at it. I didn't give a fuck about making money. I wanted to just have people be a part of it. So I made these my tattoo artist drew this badass photo, Team Beard, everyone supported it, right? So Wardog, especially because he's got his name, he's probably going to do his own shirt. So why would Wardog?
He just said he's not doing his own shirt.
Yeah,
he's not a sell your own shirt kind of guy. Yeah, and I assured him that he would not be getting the money from these shirts.
If you were first voted out, you wouldn't want a shirt made about you anyway. He might feel that he doesn't deserve it because he's first one out.
I was thinking of a cool like Captain America style shirt with some fucking camouflage. Like I had a good idea for a shirt. Not now.
Well, like Randy said, some of the players, they could just be stupid, or he could just be like, I ain't into it, or maybe he is secretly doing a Wardog shirt. Who knows? Or it could be Randy's deal. He's first boot, and he's like, I don't. That's just an embarrassment.
I want this shit over with as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's an early boot.
So, anyways, that's the Wardog. It's going to be interesting watching him play out. So we're moving on to a returning player.
Let's just say, Wardog, thank you for your service. Good luck in law school, and good luck 35 days in Ponderosa.
So we got David.
I think Wardog and Wendy Diaz are going to be the best of friends by the end of this trip.
Dude, so we got David Wright, and when I watch, he's 44 years old. This is his second time playing. He admits he's vulnerable and paranoid, and he's got this girlfriend now, and Survivor gave him this new view on life. It did give him a girlfriend, and
I mean, like, this motherfucker wrote for Family Guy. He couldn't get a chick with Family Guy, but he can with Survivor.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably his Survivor. He wrote for Family Guy, but he could be working from his house, dude. This is Survivor gave him the confidence, dude. Like, yeah, on a reality TV show. So, and he's got his OCD. He's paranoid. He's nervous. I really liked his, like you said, he's a king of the confessional now. He's a great speaker. They brought him back for a reason. I mean, maybe the reason was some of these people said David Wright's my favorite player, and they're like, we got to get this guy. Who knows? But
I did Hearts of Reality.
I guarantee you, some of these people were cast because of comments that they made about these 4 returnees.
Sure, absolutely.
I guarantee it.
If not, it's a happy coincidence, but I don't think that's the case. I think
one thing he says is it was a tough decision. Like, he's like, they called me. It was a tough decision to go play again. I don't buy that.
No,
he's a huge fan. It would be, do you want to play? Sign me up. When do I leave?
I met him 2 years ago at Hearts of Reality, and he would have been at this past Hearts of Reality, but he had just filmed this, and so he was I loved him on the show, and a lot of times they'll let you down when you meet him in real life, like a Randy perhaps, or a character like that. But Randy, you're even better in real life. I'm kidding.
Oh yes.
But he is real life lovable, and Randy, you didn't see the video, but he says his plan, because he made one of the most successful fake idols ever on Millennials versus Gen X that Jay found, and they're still friends.
He talked about that a lot on Wiggles' interview. So
okay, and so he's he did mention that him and Jay are still friends, and Jay will be joining me May 1st in Santa Monica at Busby's West for the final Survivor NSFW live viewing party of the season. Tickets available once again at survivortix.com, survivortix.com.
Will you quit plugging stuff? This is getting annoying.
He mentioned during the video that doing the fake idol was one move, but he wants to up his game. So I don't know if he mentioned this on the podcast, but his plan is to create the sole vote advantage.
He talked about it. I think that's hilarious.
And for those of you that have not listened to the other podcast or seen the video, so the sole vote advantage, this would be fake. He would make this and someone find it, and it cancels tribal voting, and then they announce who goes home. And if this becomes first of all, how does he get? I guess you could steal.
They're gonna plant. Production is going to plant shit purposely based off this.
He could steal parchment paper at tribal.
Yeah, I'm sure he could, but I'm saying it's going to be easy for him to.
But the writing instrument, I think, will magically appear.
That's what I'm saying.
That's good fucking. You can't. I mean, that's some fucking dead grandma type shit. I think it's amazing. Like, you're bringing the outside of the game into the game.
Yeah, but that is. See, with your dead grandma thing, they didn't find out until after the final vote. If you'd made it to the end, you would not have said, "Hey, I punked all you guys, and my grandma's fine," and they would have hated you. But David's scam being great, well, it's going to be exposed during the game, and there's going to be a humiliation factor, and David will make some enemies with that move.
Well, no, because it doesn't have to come out that he did it.
We'll see.
Anyone can plant that. I mean, you just it wasn't me. I mean, you fucking Shaggy that shit.
So you're saying he'll deny it until the game's over, and then
sure.
Well, okay. I disagree. You know what I think is going to happen if it plays out? I think he's going to tell someone in his alliance about it. I do.
He's a sort of player.
No,
he's not one of the that has to share information.
You don't
like
think that he'll tell Kelly, for example, and
no,
be like, "Look, this is what I'm
not.
doing. Keep an eye out while I'm doing this."
Yeah.
Okay.
Never.
Well, he's a bright guy. He's in the 20%.
Yeah. No, he's smart enough to know that.
I don't know him. We've only. I think we've swapped a few.
Did he slip into your DMs, Randy?
I think we've DM'd a couple times.
Ooh, tell us more.
I don't think I've ever met David though.
Yeah, so great. As I said, I was waiting for him to disappoint me. I was like, oh my god, I hugged him. I mean, he was. I hugged you too, Randy. So it's okay. But don't get jealous. So,
he seems like a cool, genuine dude. He seems like the guy that you see on the videos.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's the opposite of Cochran and Christian.
Well,
yeah.
You're going to really hate one of these contestants because it says they want to play like Cochran. I had that on my notes.
I caught that.
So anyway, so do we think David Wright is going far into the game? You think he's got a chance to win it?
I think he's my early winner pick.
Well, I think he's going to go
But
far.
I haven't seen the other tribe yet. So based on just seeing this tribe next week, I can adjust. I can move for inflation. But right now, he's my winner pick.
I'm just gonna say jury.
Okay. You know what? I'll take that back. Kelly Wentworth is pretty strong too. But we'll
I think. Yeah, I don't know. I could see Kelly getting rid of David.
Yeah, she's smart. She's good.
She is. I think he goes far. I don't consider him having a chance to win necessarily.
I'm going jury.
Well, so anyways, I'm at first when they did this Edge of Extinction thing, the 4 players that they were bringing back, I was like, that's interesting. Not that I don't like these people, it's just kind of interesting choices.
A little weak, right? When you first heard the 4, when they said these are the 4 names, you're like, really?
Well, for us, Johnny, they might seem a little bit like that. No offense, guys.
No.
But for the super fans that are cast, these 4 names are perfect.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm sitting there, I don't remember Kelly Wentworth whatsoever. Like when they said Kelly Wentworth, I was like, I don't remember anything about her. And then I'm watching her video, and they're like, she did the Savage Blind Side.
Oh, she was the star of Second Chances.
Yeah, and I honestly. Not if
that debut back when you drank though, didn't it?
Probably.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
No, Kelly's great.
Don't worry, Kelly. If you're listening to this, I got your back.
Well, no, I'm saying but when they're they mentioned her, I'm remembering these things after and I'm just like, yeah, I remember her being pretty good. But if I had to list the top 50 my top 50 survivors, she's not on my list.
I
mean, it would just interesting. I understand why they cast these players.
Am I on your top 50, Johnny?
You're in my top 10.
Okay, just making sure. No, I like. We're still talking about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I were to go back and watch Second Chance, I would probably have Kelly in my top 20. So I just, for some reason, I just don't remember. It wasn't ingrained in my mind that she's like this super player. So she probably is. I just don't remember.
Well, but yeah, I think she's going to do great. I'm excited to watch. So
We're still on David.
We're still on David. Oh, so on his hobbies, it says he likes making 3D puzzles. I would love for that to be a hobby of mine.
I love puzzles in general.
Have you ever used a 3D printer?
I've seen one.
We
pretty
used them
awesome.
at my old work. You can actually buy those like at this computer store by my house, man. It's pretty cool. They're so cheap now. It's insane what you can do. So we're gonna move on. Otherwise, we'll have a 3-hour podcast.
I will say this about David. So a couple things. He says he can now make a fire in 20 seconds.
I heard that too. I want to see that.
He practices inside his house. I think that is dangerous.
And if I ever get a call again, I'm calling him.
Yeah, he's the one you need to talk to. And also, based on the video, his nose is severely sunburnt before day one. How do you miss sunscreen on your nose as a returning player? This is some Cochran bullshit right here.
He could have a skin condition. Because I think actually on his first time he played, he had some weird skin things happening.
Okay.
Maybe just, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he got some sensitive things. But yeah,
I think he just forgot. I think he's just so excited. It's just like, dude, come on, man. You're about to go win $1 million. Put some sunscreen on your face.
I think David has an advantage with him being the only two-time player in the game. The other returnees have already played. This is their third. And I think if it's possible for a returning player to hide for a while, he's got a chance. Kelly, Joe, and Aubrey can't hide.
Yeah. I agree.
Kelly, Aubrey, Joe have to be leaders and run the show. David can sit back in the background a little bit and say, sure, Kelly, we'll do that.
I definitely think the target would be on the other three before they would be on David, 100%. So, yeah, I'm excited to see David play a second time, So we're going to move on to
Kelly Whitworth.
Keith. Yeah, Keith.
Oh!
19-year-old, hometown, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Currently lives in Durham, North Carolina, where he'll be joining me.
Okay, my paper got cut off. So my notes are he's not outdoorsy at all. He grew up poor. He wants his Bible if he had 3 things he could bring on the island. Yep. And you know what?
Johnny's got to have him as his winner pick. Bringing the Bible.
Church boy _16 on Instagram.
Say that again because the audio cut out for a second.
Sure. His Instagram name is churchboy _16.
Yeah, he's a super fan. He's all smiles.
I feel like
he's
he's
19.
powered by God.
I don't have a problem with someone wanting to bring a Bible, but like even as a Christian man, a Bible would be the last thing that I would really want to bring. Like it's a spiritual thing, whether you believe in whatever you believe when you're out there on the island and stuff.
It could get wet.
It's a crazy experience. I mean, I think this dude has no chance at all to win the game. I think he's gonna be out early. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah.
He got into Duke and he's pre-med, so.
And I think his family still lives in the trailer that he grew up in. He grew up in a mobile home.
But with that being said, I've known some stupid doctors before.
Me too.
No, he does say once again. Let's look at the time frame here. This was filmed right after David versus Ghost Island finale. So he has not seen David versus Goliath.
Right.
And so he says his idol is Jeremy Collins. I think had he seen David versus Goliath first, that his idol would have been Davey. And I think Davey would have been a huge influence on the way he would have played the game. And I'm nervous that he's going to be playing too, quote unquote, good a game because of his faith and everything else versus, Davey walked that fine line of, a believer and follower in God. And I'll do some shady shit when I need to. And it's okay. Because I talked to God about it, and God's okay with it. So, I don't know if Keith is willing to make those sacrifices.
2 things. First thing is God's not going to care if you do shady stuff because it's a game.
But he might not know that. He's 19 years old.
The second thing about God, he doesn't give a shit about Survivor.
I understand that as well.
He does.
But do you think Keith knows this?
No, I think no. You're good point.
Yeah, I don't think Keith knows either of those two statements. Unfortunately for once again, I think if Keith had seen Davey on David versus Goliath, he plays a totally different game. I think he plays too good a game this season, and he's an early boot because of it.
No, well, we'll see. And one thing that also struck me about every one of these newbies, well, it's the same thing though every year. They are so naive. They you know, when they say I'm going to play my game.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to play a game just like Parvati. What they don't understand is they're saying, I plan on playing a game exactly the way Parvati's game was edited.
Sure.
You know.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Parvati made 20 mistakes in her win, but they don't show those.
Yeah.
They show the ones that work.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I was just as naive, so I'm not really knocking them, and they shouldn't hold a grudge at me saying that, but you're going to go to school. No, it's
just reality.
And they're not going to go to school. They've already played the game. That's your first schooling. Now comes your higher education where you watch it on TV.
Yeah.
And anyway.
Well,
good luck. I liked Keith. Keith was likable.
Very likable.
He is a likable guy.
My takeaway from his video was, you know, he said he pulled his strings behind the scenes, you know, and kind of called the shot. I can't imagine anyone taking orders from a 19-year-old.
Well, when Michael Yerger played, he was young. He was like 18. But the difference is
he lied.
Keith, he did lie, and he was a very, very mature 18-year-old dude that seemed way older. That's why everyone believed that he was an older guy.
Yeah.
I think that Keith is going to be so bubbly and excited and have, you know, all smiles and positive energy and things like that, that you're going to be able to tell his age, I would think.
His likability could carry him pretty far. Did he say he was going to? He said he was going to own being 19. Didn't he?
He wants to be.
And I think
he's the youngest black player in the history of Survivor, and he wants to own that moniker, if you will.
Well, you know, black schmack. Who cares?
Well, there you go. I know Randy Bailey sees no color. We know this. We've known this for years.
But you know, the fact that he's owning 19. I got it. I got the perfect strategy. He should own being 19, but he should deny being black. He should tell everybody he's white. That would be the perfect.
You know what? I think if Keith could go back and refilm this season, maybe not based on that information, I think he would.
Oh, that was fucking hilarious, dude.
No, you know, kudos for him for owning 19, because you know you've been out there. I don't care how old anybody is. I really don't.
No.
But at the same time, I'm not a 19-year-old's not gonna tell me what to do. Like we can have an alliance, but you're not calling the shots.
People are gonna look down on him like you don't know anything. You're just a 19-year-old kid. That's the detrimental thing of telling somebody that you're 19. You know what I mean? Like if he comes up and is like, "Hey, I got a plan with this alliance," and be like, "Dude, you're just a teenager." You know what I mean?
You know, and
get out of here, kid. Grown-ups are talking.
In a lot of ways, and I just thought of it. It's almost the bigger super fan you are, the more naive you are to the game.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think all your listeners will understand that. You have to play the game to understand that. Well, and maybe even play the game twice to understand that.
The game going on in Jacob Derwin's head when he was out there playing versus the game that was being played, I think is case in point of that. Because Jacob's just like, I am the king of Ghost Island. This is exactly how I planned it. Like everything is perfect. Nothing bad could happen to me from this second on. and he and then reality set is just like, yeah, so the opposite of all of that is what's really happening around you.
Yeah.
If I ever play again, I'm never going to say, you know, I'm running the show.
Or that you're white.
Yeah. If
or
that's
that
my
you're
lie
black.
Next time.
Don't tell people that you're black.
I'm gonna tell people that I'm a nice black person.
And 19, I think you should tell people that you're 19. I think that'll work.
I'm a nice gay black person. That way I can get money from Sia.
The T-shirt is available. I'm not gay, but 14K is 14K at johnnyfairplay.com.
So
another plug.
Yeah, yes. we're gonna move on to the next person. We got Kelly Wentworth. You know, she's 31 years old. This is her third time playing. I mean, she's super confident. She's a badass.
She's strong. Like, you know, once again, I don't really remember. And once again, I blame myself, like, you know, because I'm sure people are just yelling at their headphones or whatever audio device. It's not a diss. Like, as I said, I guarantee if I went back and watched Game Changers, was it Game Changers or Second Chances? Which one was she on?
Second Chances.
Second Chance. I guarantee if I went back and watched it, I'd be like, oh my God, this chick's running. She's the best. I just honestly don't remember, and I apologize.
She didn't run it. She was playing from behind the whole way.
Well, that's what she says in her video. She says she always plays from the bottom.
Well, she was in a minority of the witches. You remember the witches coven with?
Yeah, but I don't remember her. I remember because the Savage Blind Side. I'm giving credit to Chaos Cass and Abi Maria. So I guess she was the third, and Sierra. She was the fourth member of this group.
Yes, she was, and yeah, it was her blind side, and she told no one.
Okay.
Which was perfect.
And she kind of tells everybody, like, look, I've made it far in this game. I've experienced playing with my dad and all this other thing. So the only thing I give a shit about is winning the game. That's all.
I love that. That's the answer I wanted to hear.
She literally is like, dude, I got nothing. This is not, I want to go out and experience this.
I want $1 million.
I want to win Survivor. That's the whole point of me being out here. So I think this will be the last time that she plays. I don't think she'll play again after this, based off the video I saw and how motivated she is to win. I think she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. She's smart, she's physical, and she has the experience. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are starstruck by her.
And I'm gonna say what you just said, Matt, and turn it around. I don't think she's gonna go very far because she's smart and she's physical. She's probably the most, you know, comparing her to Aubrey isn't as threatening or as scary as Kelly is. You know, I love Kelly. I know her in person outside the game. I just think if anybody in the game lets her get past 7th place, they're crazy.
Yeah, they would be stupid, I agree. But here's the thing that I want to know. People like David Wright, or if all four of the survivors, that the previous players, they're going to stick together, I would assume, no matter what.
I would backstab Joe pretty quickly.
But what I'm saying is, if there's some of these people that are, like you said, Randy, 75% of Survivor players are stupid. So if you have a bunch of stupid super fans that are hanging
and naive, the only thing worse than being stupid is being stupid and naive.
So you're saying stupid and naive, and they're super fans, and they're hanging from Kelly Wentworth's nuts. They may just want to. They want to play with. They want to play with her. You know what I mean? And
you're right. You're absolutely right. And
I think if they let her get far, though, they're more than stupid.
And that is called Redemption Island syndrome with Boston Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, we've seen that. So now, I once again, again, apologies. I don't remember, but just on the video, she wowed me. She was so animated, and I'm friends with Michelle Fitzgerald, winner of Karong. Is that the one?
Yes.
And in real life, she is so smart and
Michelle is.
Yes, and funny and captivating, and I saw a lot of these attributes watching Kelly Wentworth's video, and that's what she reminded me of, and I'm just like, you know, if he can harness those skills that Michelle Fitzgerald did on a really tough season of Karong, I think Kelly could put herself in a final jury situation and win, and so once. So I do have the ability to adjust for inflation next week, but this is final winner pick, Kelly Wentworth.
I'm gonna say I love Kelly, I really do, but she has no chance of winning.
Okay.
No chance.
I would say she, makes it to, once the merge and jury happens, she's like second or third person on the jury.
That's probably a pretty good guess.
Probably.
So we're going to move on to Lauren O'Connell.
Wowzers.
And so
Randy, this one, when we're done, please go back and watch the video, because I can think of 2 huge reasons that I would never vote her out.
Okay, I'll go watch the video.
And also, she will never drown.
She is 21 years old, hometown Bakers, California, current residence Waco, Texas. She is a soccer player, an amazing athlete. She's major competitive. She just graduated college 7
Baylor
days
University.
before going out for this interview, the pregame, interviews out on location. She claims herself she's can be a leader, but she also can adapt to be a follower. And I think she is going to do well, and I hope she does well, because so far I like the looks of her right there. She's
amazing.
By far, she seems cool. First of all,
real cool.
She's attractive. She's athletic. She can
funny.
Make
a 5-minute fire.
And she did not annoy me at all in her videos like some of these people did. She just
Her bio did. Her bio Her bio says she's going to fix the world by giving them beautiful smiles as she enters dentistry school.
She wants to be the orthodontist. That's right.
Yeah, and
the funny thing is, this is back to what we said. She says in her bio, she loves Kelly Wentworth. So. Yeah. I think those 2 are going to immediately start. As soon as they get on the island, she's going to be giddy, starstruck by this is probably the first Survivor. What's that?
They're going to sync up. My only worry with her is that Chris Underwood falls in love, and we have a showmance out of the gate, and one of those is going to fall victim to that.
I don't think Chris is in Lauren's league.
Hopefully not.
I don't either.
Well, I mean, she is playing the poverty game. I mean, like we had Angelina on the show, and Angelina had to fight to be cast because they didn't want a married hot girl on the show. They essentially said that was worthless casting, and
that's a shame because Angelina was
one of the greatest cast in the past.
She was a star of the show.
Easily.
So,
but that she was cast for a reason, but typically, but that's so sexy. I mean, I can't believe I have two daughters, so my view has changed in life, but it's so crazy. You can be a married guy and get cast, no problem. But if you're a married girl, it's like, I don't know if we could use you because we really want you to be a little hoary out there.
See, I keep bringing up the naivete of these players, and her thinking that being a super athlete is gonna matter.
No,
it's just not.
Your tribe loses the first 2 immunity challenges in a row. You're gonna start trimming the fat. So Reem and Wendy are going before Lauren.
And the one thing
I agree, but ask Sandra Diaz Twine about being a physical player.
As Burton Roberts, if he were to replay Survivor Pro Islands again, we lose the first challenge on purpose so that we don't kill ourselves physically in our first boot as Sandra Diaz Twine, and we win every challenge after that and decimate the Morgans.
Well,
throw the second challenge too and get rid of Rupert, so I don't have to watch him for 4 seasons.
The thing she's basically saying she's going to use her sex appeal to her advantage, like poverty. I think she's going to use kind of like an Andrea Bulky type game from a social standpoint. I think she will do well in challenges. She's Christian, but I think she's the kind of person that.
Did you say she's no Christian?
No, she is. No. She's talking about the Bible and that she's a Christian.
She's very Christian, but I think, like we mentioned,
she'll lie.
Unlike Keith, I think she understands that God doesn't care about Survivor.
Yes, I think she'll do
and
what it takes.
And neither should Reddit when it comes to people calling out people for them on Facebook.
But I do not think that she's going to have a showmance with anybody on her tribe. And if Joe Anglim and her made it far enough, she can't have Joe Anglim anyways because Joe's got Sierra already. But
you think that would matter to him?
I think there's going to be no showmance, and I think she's going to do fairly well. She at least makes the merge. I think she's going to be social enough to be able to be likable where people are going to. I mean, based off looking at this tribe, she's going to be in the game for a while.
And you brought up a point earlier. I think a Lauren Kelly duo could go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
A long way to getting into the jury, and be second voted out.
Right. I think she's jury. So 5-minute fire. I'm impressed once again. You're giving advice. It's just like, look, this is important. Learn how to make a fire. Learn how to make a fire.
How the hell does David Wright make a fire in 20 seconds? I want to see that. Well, I've got $1 million that says he can't do it in 20 seconds.
Oh no! Please.
I tell you why.
Give you any bit of advice, Randy, don't say that.
He said in the video, Randy, about the fire making that he was using yarn. I think the reason he made a fire in 20 seconds, he was using combustible materials that are not going to be available on Survivor when they give you the tinder and stuff. It was probably like this shit that he probably made it with had gasoline soaked in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe you can
That's how I make fires.
I believe you can get sparks and get something going. But yeah, we'll see. But I'm excited to see Lauren's gameplay. We're gonna go.
Oh, I'm excited to see Lauren.
We're gonna go to the next person, which I sometimes give my wife this nickname of Reem Daly. It's an interesting name. I actually, when I saw Reem Daly.
Both Reem and Daly are spelled incorrectly.
Yes. I'm sure she spelled them herself.
But I tell you what, the first time I saw her video, I immediately loved this chick. Because
wow.
I think
we are on the opposite sides of the spectrum here.
I tell you why, because part of it, the fact that she got kicked out of the fucking gym that she was working out at to prepare for the show, I think she's going to be a bitch.
I need to go watch the video.
You do, Randy.
I think that screams literally no chance. The fact that she kicked out of the gym preparing for Survivor.
Yeah, I think that she's going to be...
Why was she kicked out?
She was trying to lose weight she was trying to tone up for the show, and her trainer had her weigh herself, and she was unhappy with the results and went on a profanity laced tirade and was asked to not come back to the gym.
But that's why I love, here's the thing, dude, watching the videos of all these tribe people, the reason that I like her is because I think it'll make for controversial television. Okay. Whether she goes major deep into the game, I'm excited to watch her play however long she lasts.
Was it Karen that was on Palau? Remember her?
Don't ask me. I've watched every season, but I couldn't freaking name when she was on. Karen? I mean, we could Google it. Is that who reminds?
Spelled Caryn, I believe.
That's how my girlfriend spells Karen. My girlfriend was on Survivor?
I think so.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you have a great memory. Okay, I remember Karen now.
This girl gives me a Karen vibe, and that makes her pre-jury.
Yeah, I go.
Oh, I remember her. Yeah, she is very Karen-esque. I do like Katie Gallagher, who she had fault with. So no, She talks like a 20. She's 46. She talks like a 20-year-old. Just like, dude, it's cool, man. Don't wear like, and
Jonny, hold on a second. The listeners,
yeah.
Jonny, I love you.
Yes.
You are 45. You talk like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
You do. Me, I'm immature. I'm the most immature 44-year-old on the planet.
Matt, I am what is called a hypocrite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you.
I got this over the months of us doing these things.
I mean, if I had time, I would go back to all our archives of podcasts and do. I mean, we could do one from right now. Randy Bailey was saying it. I hate people that give themselves nicknames. I'm Jonny Fairplay. I hate people that talk like they're 22.
Yes.
Jonny's like, I love it. That's the beauty
Yes.
of this fucking podcast. It's funny.
Yes. No,
What do you?
she does mention she wants to go and chill out with the younger people, and I don't think that would be the same vice versa. But she does kind of remind me of an aunt that would get you high when you were a kid. Like did you guys have one of those? No.
No.
Just me.
Yeah, just you. Well, yeah, just you, Jonny.
That explains
That does explain a lot.
The cool aunt. She reminds me of the cool aunt. But then, looking back at it, 20 years later, it's just like, that probably wasn't so cool to get, a 14-year-old high.
What do you think the chances are that she was cast 100% because of her name, Reem Daly?
I mean, I don't see what else got her cast.
That's hilarious.
Dude, when I saw that, I was like,
cast, obviously.
Dude, Reem Daly. I mean, that is freaky. Yeah, I was cracking up. I'm still cracking up.
If she wasn't, she must be really bad, because if she wasn't that bad, her name would be like Reem Weekly. or monthly.
This is pretty good.
But man, getting Reem Daily, that's strong. That's gotta hurt.
I think it's a compliment. I would love. Well, I mean, I would love to be on the other. All right.
It's like a made up name out of an Austin Powers movie.
And on the second stage, Reem Daly. What's the buffet for one dance is coming up?
What was the name in Austin Powers?
A lot of China.
Yeah.
I've never even watched Austin Powers, I can tell you that.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm crying.
Reem Daly.
Well,
which was based on, of course, the line from Octopussy. He goes, "What's your name?" And she goes, "Pussy Galore." He goes, "I must be dreaming."
What do you think? What do you think? They've got to give her name some airtime.
Sure. Someone's got to. I mean, Rick, our next person on the list, Rick Devens, appears to have a very sophomoric humor about him, and he will giggle himself silly about her name.
Reem's strategy, if Keith is going to claim to be a white guy, she needs to go in and change her name.
That's her
My
strategy.
name is Jane Doe.
I'll never. She has an alliance with Joe Glass. It'll be great.
I'm excited to see what goes down with Reem Daly.
Anyway, Reem Daly, no chance of winning.
No chance in hell. I'd say call that early boots.
I'd say 10% chance of making the jury.
Yeah, I don't think. I think she's going to be pre-jury. I think she's going to. I think she's gonna be fun to watch for a little bit, but I think she's could annoy people almost like Natalie from David vs. Goliath, but in a different fashion.
I don't think she's gonna get a friendly edit.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think it'll make good TV. Like
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe and for the record, this is based on hers was a 5-minute video. Lauren's before that was a 3-minute video. Most of these people had like 10, 12-minute videos. This is on the shorter side, and this is their first shot at being in front of a camera. Mm-hmm. So there could be nerves on it. So so any of these opinions I'm throwing, I know that a lot of the cast listens, and
these are
to this, do they?
Oh yeah, and we hurt some feelings, and
this is strictly entertainment. We are going off of this. I mean, dude, when I went on there, I mean, I didn't even. I'm a fucking nobody in Survivor. People make fun of me all day long, and I look like a fucking troll. You know what I'm saying? So this is strictly just like I said. This is first impressions. We could eat our words in podcast. Like
I want to eat my words, and I want to be wowed by each and every one of these people.
I do
except for the Wardog.
Okay, well,
I stand by that. So, I forgot one thing. Chris Underwood, one of the early ones, he would fall asleep at night listening to podcasts, preparing for the show. And so I once, of course, talked to Chris Underwood today, and said, what podcast did you listen to? And no response, even though I saw that he read it. And wow,
You know, and a better prep might be to stay awake and listen to podcasts.
Well, there is that.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So I suggested, you know, maybe you listen to the two old ladies that talk about Survivor. I think that would have been most beneficial. And he replied,
know. Who are they? I've never heard of them.
Gloria and some. I
know Gloria. She's a super fan, but I didn't know that she had a podcast.
Maybe it's not Gloria. It's these two old ladies. It's the friendliest Survivor podcast I've ever. It's the exact opposite of this. Anyway, we're not being accurate.
Yep.
So, but he listened to Rob Has a Podcast and Rob Has a Podcast Evolution of Strategy. So I will give I was like, I wrote excellent tools, and I wasn't calling them tools. You know, I was using the reference version of the definition. And I mentioned I probably would have added SurvivorNSFW.com to that list. And he replied, I had no idea that you had a podcast.
Well, now he does, and he's going to probably listen to this one day. So shout out, dude. We're going to move on to the anchor man, Rick Devens.
Shirt available at Jonny. Rick the Anchorman.
So
it's one of my favorite new shirts.
He's a big fan since day one.
That's like 5 plugs you've done in this podcast, 5 or 6.
Okay. Listen, you got to pay to keep the lights on, Randy. How do you pay for podcasts?
What I like about Rick is he just seems like a normal dude. I mean, he doesn't seem like the biggest strategist. He does seem like a super fan. He is a 33-year-old dude. He's a news anchor. He's a father, and I don't recall a lot of these people are young, so I think he's the only. I'm not sure if Wardog probably has kids, right? But he's probably the only other dad on this tribe. So
puppies. He's got some puppies.
Who?
Wardog.
Well, Rick has cats. Because he would love to take a picture of his kids and his cats. But would be his luxury.
So the thing is, I know this is the fact of the matter is, Jonny. I don't know if you know this or not, but he wants to play like Cochran. So do you automatically hate Rick?
Yeah, I already might hate Rick for a multitude of reasons. Otherwise, I mean, like the Cochran thing might be the final nail in the coffin. I've actually spoken to Rick. He is from Blacksburg, Virginia, home of Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
we are both Hokies, Virginia Tech Hokies. That for those of you that are Hokies, it's a big deal. And so I reached out, just to say before asking if he'd like a T-shirt. I reached out and said, "Welcome to the family." Mm-hmm. And I liked him. I liked him a lot. It's kind of like Nick. He's not quite as nice as Nick, but really likable guy. He's a dirty guy. He's got a potty mouth sometimes. So I'm not trying to get him in trouble with the news gig. So, but I'm scared because I had a really similar conversation with Dan Foley prior to his season. Mm-hmm. And then I saw him. I was like, "Oh my God! I don't think I've ever hated a Survivor so much as I hate."
Dan?
Yes. Oh, he was Rupert 2.0, but worse.
Do you know Dan in real life?
I liked him in real life, but on the show he was god awful.
Let me just say this about Dan. I'm sure there's no way he's listening, but I hated him on the show.
Why did you say that, Randy?
I hated him on the show.
Yeah.
And I went to Reality Rally in Temecula, California a couple years ago, and he was my roommate. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is going to be awful.
Yeah.
He was great.
I talked to him before the season, and I liked him so much, and then I watched. I was like, oh my god.
I like
what
Dan.
happened?
He's come to Cincinnati for the Reality for Diabetes event a couple times, and I spent a lot of time with him. He hung out with my kids. He went across the street to my neighbor's house and like talked in their front yard with my neighbors about Survivor, and this was right after his season.
Yeah.
For a long time. He's a cool dude.
But you didn't like him on the show, though.
Yeah, he kind of rubbed people the wrong way. I didn't like hate him, but yeah, he was kind of a dick on the show. Yeah. Okay.
He was the real edit of Rupert. But I'm sitting there watching. I'm just like, hey, this is the guy that I played the game with, except they're not lying, telling everybody that we love him.
The only issue I have with him right now, he just went on like a solo trip to Europe. I don't like that he cut his goatee off. I think he looks way better with a beard. No, I think Randy looks great the way Randy looks. Like, I think Randy with a beard would look probably weird because he looks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not a beard kind of guy. Now, on the other hand, Dan Foley is a beard guy.
Yeah, my beard my beard would look a lot like Johnny's except gray. Mine would even be thinner than Johnny's. I can't grow a beard. Never could.
It would be patchy and thin like Johnny's, basically. It wouldn't be like this.
No.
With friends like you, who needs enemies? All right. So Matt is showing his 4-foot beard, and if you'd like to see the beard as you're listening, become a patron at Patreon.com.
To change the subject, you know who has the worst beard of over 250 male survivors?
Boston Rob.
Yes. Yeah. How did you know that?
Because I like you see, yeah,
I've real patchy.
I saw him on day 8 in Heroes vs. Villains when I got voted out, and I had, I was doing fine on day 8.
Yeah,
that guy looked like he was shaving twice a day.
Well, he did have in his contract that he got to shave, and
probably no, he wasn't shaving. He had like
little
5 whiskers here and like 5 here.
He had like cat whiskers. Maybe he's a cat.
I'm like, dude, I had more in 7th grade than you got.
Yeah,
he did have 9 lives in Survivor. So
anyway, that's just.
So Rick, he's a dad. I think he's gonna. I think he jokes around a lot in this video. I think
very, very funny.
I like Rick, likable guy.
Yeah. I can as a dad, as he mentions his kids loving Lego and stuff, and I'm all about that. So I'm gonna have a lot of things to relate to. Although he's a younger dude, I'm excited to see Rick.
Well, with the younger dude thing, like, he's 33. In some pictures, he looks like he's 30, and in others, it looks like he's 50.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I don't think that's a compliment.
Right? No, I know, but what I'm saying with this dude, he's obviously not a big physical target, and we know it doesn't matter if you're an athlete. It also doesn't matter that he's an Eagle Scout. Yes, will he be able to do some things maybe, but this game in 2019 is not based on an Eagle Scout or a collegiate athlete. Yes, those play a part. It is based on the social game and strategy.
And that's why I like him. He's middle of the road on everything. He's not going to be a great athlete. He's not going to be. He can be invisible and just hang out, tell a joke once a day, and he can go to day 25 just on that.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, were you an Eagle Scout?
No, I was not.
When you think Eagle Scouts, I imagine a Rick Devens when I think Eagle Scouts.
Exactly.
That's what you think. But if you go back in Survivor history, I can name 2 Eagle Scouts that are 2 of the biggest studs in the history of the game.
Really? Who's that?
Michael Yerger and Burton Roberts.
Well, I'll give it to you there on Burton, but I think Yerger's far from a stud. I think he's a stud in his own mind. But...
Have you met Libby?
Libby. No.
Okay.
Yeah, and about me being the Eagle Scout, I was kicked out of Cub Scouts for bringing Playboy and Penthouse magazines to the meetings.
I thought you were going to go with I was kicked out of Cub Scouts for eating brownies. Was the correct answer?
No, I stole some Penthouses and
you'll get it,
Playboys.
Let it marinate.
Dude,
I got it. I just didn't want to acknowledge it.
I love as I hear the news stories from Randy, I love you more and more. And I know
we had a rough start, Matt, but we're finishing strong.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. And
we don't need to tell that story.
No, right on, dude. So,
well, we could though. It's kind of a good story.
Well, go ahead. Let's hear it.
I threw something at his wife at the reunion years ago.
At the Caramoan finale.
I was hammered. Yeah. And I don't even remember what it was that I threw.
Have you met his wife?
Yes.
She's hot.
I threw something at her. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you throw something?
Well,
I mean, like,
here's the thing. First of all, I was in the front row of the thing, so.
Oh, you weren't on stage.
But for, like I would like to hear this from Randy's because like I vaguely talked about this. First of all, Tessa doesn't take any shit from anybody, and then my friend Nate Wessel with dreads that was there with Tessa, and some of my friends are rowdy dudes. They're not like, oh, I'm a tough guy, but they're just like, if someone was to throw something, I don't know how you just tell the story.
It's blurry to me too.
Yeah.
I remember throwing something, and I remember you getting upset about it, and I kind of got a, hey, you don't talk to me, I'm Randy Bailey type attitude.
Whoa.
Which didn't go over well. And I don't really, I mean, I'm sure I was 98% to blame. I was the asshole. And
well, here's the deal, dude. I don't harbor grudges on anyone. Like, I met you in Cincinnati. I mean, Marcus Lehman's one of my good friends. You guys are super tight. Corinne, and I mean, Johnny Fairplay, for example, is someone I probably would have despised being around when he was a partier and shit. But I would never hold that. Johnny and I are cool. So none of that.
He was. That's where you're dead wrong. He was much more fun then than he is now. And I've been with both of them, and that's proof.
You like him better before?
Oh, yeah, because he was my Mississippi.
Right. Well, you know
what I mean.
Yep. I hear you.
Because if he's with me,
yeah,
I'm no longer the asshole.
Yeah, right.
Because he's worse.
Yeah.
Thank you, Randy.
All right, let's move on.
Well, right,
where are we?
So we are going to the
last. Hold on. Let's finish up with Rick. So we think Rick makes the jury.
I think Rick makes the jury.
I'm saying his chances of making the jury are really good.
I hope he does mention the video that he's thinking about who would be the annoying guy on the tribe, and there's a part of me going, it might be you, and I'm worried about that. But I think Rick perseveres. I don't think we have another Dan Foley situation. I'm praying that we don't. I really want Rick to do well. I'm picking jury Rick Devens.
I think
while we're on him, one thing I found interesting that has nothing to do with anything. This guy's from Blacksburg, Virginia, which is home of Virginia Tech, which is also home of one of the worst school shootings ever.
Yeah. Mark Burnett sent me a email the next day, personally, just making sure that I was okay after. Like, he didn't think I was there. Just know.
I didn't know you went there.
Yeah. They're like the.
Anyway, my point. Let me finish this, and you can finish. And I can't remember who it was, but there was who's the female from Orlando? She was from a school shooting also.
Oh wow, was she Parkland? Sex Dr. Mike. Did you hear the story about Sex Dr. Mike worked on the?
Well, I knew Dr. Mike was close to the one in Florida too. But,
he ran to the hospital and performed 2 surgeries. One made it, one didn't.
God, man.
Really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
But otherwise, Sex Dr. Mike sucked. It's Sex Dr. Mike. I mean, come on. but that day he was a hero.
So, anyways, are we moving on with Rick? Are we moving on to the last person? Give us the final statement.
Also another fire maker. So they really drilled home the fact you better be able to make fire.
Fire making is huge in this game for 2 people. For the other 16, it doesn't matter.
But wouldn't you say it's a wise decision to,
Sure just in case.
try to make fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, I think you can learn everything you need to learn in one afternoon. So these people making fire every day for 2 weeks, maybe you wasted a little bit of time.
I wouldn't be doing it every day for 2 weeks. If I got called right now, I would a couple times.
You would go buy a flint.
And I would do it, and I would get a fire started like twice for a second, and I'd be like, okay, I know at least what to shave and what to do. End of story. That's it.
I'm with Matt. That's as far as I would go.
Yeah. So we are going on to not the best for last, the worst for last, in my opinion, based off the video I saw. Wendy Diaz, 25 years old.
Wendy Diaz Twine.
Dude, so she was just over the top annoying in the video. And I know you're out there. You are being put on camera for the first time for some of these people. I had been on camera a bunch from BMX days and stuff, so the camera did not freak me out. The camera freaks a lot of people out. There's a lot of adrenaline, but her laugh and this mega energy, I think she is going to annoy the entire tribe immediately, and they're going to want to just say, we're getting her out right now. I mean, just looking at the cast, she looks out of place. And they always got to, cast the alternative person or the tattooed person or whatever. She is that person on this tribe.
She feels that she was cast because of her blue hair. And I'm just like, I'd like to think that you brought more to the table than just having blue. Like, if you think that's the only reason you were cast, you are automatically replaceable.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys know, there are people cast to be first and second and third boots. That in the scheme of the show, and unfortunately, sometimes those planned first, second, and third boots end up going to the end.
Now let me ask you this, Randy.
Sandra Diaz Twine, Bob Crowley,
Lil Morris,
exactly.
On the other spectrum, Francesca Hoagie, first person to ever be voted out. First, twice.
Only person.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think that she was meant to go farther, or do you think she was one of those people like you just talked about?
I know Fran. I've met her several times, hung out with her. She's good friends with Corinne.
Yes.
She's totally normal. She would be somebody I would pick to go deep.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah.
She's smart.
I can work with smart.
Yeah, she's smart, and she's smart, and she's cool. And she's freaking strong.
You're in the wrong game if you can work with smart. That's wrong. If you want to be successful in this game, you got to be able to work with dumb. And that's where I failed. I failed miserably twice because I cannot work with stupid.
Who do you think was the dumbest person on your Survivor Gabon season?
Oh, I know the answer to this.
I mean, I don't know the answer. It's too hard.
Yeah, because there's a lot of dumb people, so to find the dumbest.
I personally like this person, but if you go back and rewatch Gabon, there's only one person that has this player's back in the entire 39 days, and the only move that she made in the game was to vote him out. So, and that person looking out for her was Ace, and that player was Sugar.
Yeah, Sugar is pretty stupid.
I like Sugar. You guys are friends now. But go
we
back
get along.
and you watch the season. Only one player had her back out there.
Susie. I don't want to talk about Gabon.
Yeah, right on. Let's not talk about it. But this person, I think is going to go out early. I think
she wants to play like either Sandra or Ty. I think she just says Sandra because her last name is Diaz. I think she just says Ty because they're both crazy, and I think that is pretty accurate. And Ty will tell you that he's a horrible player. This video, she's crazy, and it's obvious that she's crazy. And all they could get is 2 minutes of footage. I mean, you would think if you're, if there's something there, a solid 10. No, 2 minutes they tapped out.
This is what I don't understand, dude. In the casting process, right? If they can only get 2 minutes of footage pre-game out on the set, how did they not see through that during the entire casting process? How did they not know she sucked?
Like Randy said, some people are cast to be first out.
Yeah.
Like you don't want someone to give you 10 minutes of good footage before the game
Yeah.
if you want them out early. So I mean, like she explains to us on the video that she's going to play dumb in the beginning. I don't think that's going to be a stretch.
No,
I think she will be very believable at playing dumb at the beginning of the game.
And I think she'll continue that strategy as long as she lasts.
Or I thought you were going to go with Livs.
She's fun. You never know. I mean,
again, this is based on 2 minutes, and she does say that she's cunning. She works at a swap meet, and in the South, we call those people the workers, like we call them carnies, and carnies can rip you off pretty good. And I don't know if you've ever been to a swap meet. You know, whether you're in the South, the West, wherever, they'll rip you off pretty good. So maybe there's a chance here.
And like I said, maybe she just had too much energy, and she would just it's the first person she talked to. It's like it's hard to base a complete opinion on anybody off these stupid 2-minute videos that they do.
But she is my first.
And you never know what can happen. I mean, she could her tribe could win the first 2 immunities, and then Reem or Rick could step up as being annoying, and then there could be a tribe swap, and there's so much luck in this game,
I've stated I feel because
she can't win, but she could make it to the end. She could also be first out.
Nah, she's an early boot. Like the Fishbacks of the world talk. It's 62% strategy. No, it is 60% luck. But Fishback is wrong.
It's 80% luck.
But even 80% luck does not allow Wendy Diaz to win Survivor Edge of Extinction.
If she makes it to the top 7, anybody that's any good is going to be wanting to take her to the end. Anybody.
Sure, but there's no way she makes it that far.
Well, we're going to find out, and we're also going to learn about...
Excellent lead-in, Matt. That was perfect.
We're going to learn about the other tribe next week, but it's been super fun, Randy. Thank you for joining us. We all just got off work literally right before we started this podcast. We got home, and we wanted to get right into it, so that was really fun, and I can't wait for next week to dive into the other tribes. So... we will see all of you guys next week. Jonny, any last words?
As a little teaser, Randy, you're going to say only good things about Joe Englund, correct?
That is correct. He's my hero.
Oh, and are you lying?
He's my hero. And Bob Crowley played an amazing game in Gabon.
And if that wasn't enough of a teaser to listen next week, I don't know what is. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Randy Bailey. Thank you, Matt Bischoff. Thank you all of our listeners. And
that was fun. And I think I'd like to say, I think the 3 of us did a hell of a good job on that.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
There was a. I mean, I've always known I've had a pretty good chemistry with you, Jonny, but the 3 of us make a good team.
I agree.
This is our final 3. We're good.
That's right.
Until next week.
See you guys next time on Survivor NSFW.
Adios.